Is Victor Wembanyama solving basketball in real time? After being named an all-star starter for the first time just hours before tip-off, the Spurs franchise centerpiece put on a three-point clinic that had Jazz defenders looking helpless. 7 three-pointers, career high, 33 points in only 26 minutes. San Antonio cruised to a 123-110 Martin Luther King Day victory, completing a perfect three-game homestand and pushing their record to 30-13. But here's the part that should terrify the rest of the Western Conference. What we witnessed Monday isn't a hot shooting night, it's evidence of a calculated tactical evolution that's turning Wembanyama into the most unguardable player in basketball. Let's break down what just happened and why it changes everything. What's up, Spurs fans? Welcome back to Spurs Quick News, quick, sharp, and all about the silver and black. I'm your host, and today we're diving deep into Wemby's three-point masterclass against Utah and what this all-star performance tells us about San Antonio's championship timeline. Before we jump in, drop your city in the comments so we know where the Spurs family's tuning in from. The timing couldn't have been scripted better. 3 hours before Monday's 7 p.m. tip-off at the Frost Bank Center, Victor Wembanyama was announced as an all-star starter, edging out Anthony Edwards in a fan vote tiebreaker. Then he walked onto the court and delivered a masterclass that validated every single vote. The Spurs entered at 29-13, sitting second in the Western Conference and riding momentum from that heart-stopping 126-123 escape against Minnesota. The Jazz limped in at 14-29, missing their star Lauri Markkanen due to illness, clearly in evaluation mode for the draft lottery. But San Antonio approached this game with championship-level focus. No letdowns, no coasting. This was about sending a message not just to Utah, but to the entire league, watching a nationally televised MLK Day showcase. And they delivered. 7 Spurs in double figures, 32 assists on beautiful ball movement, 8 different players recording blocks, a franchise milestone not seen in 4 years. The defense locked in during the second half, and the offense clicked like a well-oiled machine. Yet the headline everyone will remember is Wemby absolutely unconscious from downtown, going 7 for 1, 2 from three-point range. This wasn't luck. This wasn't variance. This was the unveiling of Wembanyama 2, a version defenses have no answer for. Do you think Wemby should keep launching 10-plus threes per game, or focus more on paint dominance, drop, shoot more, or post up below? If you're locked in for this tactical breakdown, tap that like it fuels more championship-level content. Here's where the chess match gets fascinating. Victor Wembanyama went 7 for 1, 2 from three-point range. 7 made threes from a 7'4" center. Let that marinate. That's not just a career high, that's a declaration of intent. By halftime, Wemby had already launched 9 attempts from deep, matching his previous season high. He made 5 of them on his way to 21 first-half points while playing only 26 total minutes. Utah had 0 answers. How do you contest a guy that tall with that touch and that elevation? But here's the intelligence behind what's happening. This isn't a one-game anomaly. Over the Spurs' current 3-game win streak, Wembanyama is shooting 1-6 of 2-7 from beyond the arc. That's 59%. From 3 against NBA-level competition. For context, he's averaging 24.5 points, 10.9 rebounds, and a league-leading 2.6 blocks in just 28.8 minutes per game this season. And now he's adding elite three-point volume to that production. The transformation is deliberate. In December, Wemby averaged just 3 three-point attempts per game and didn't make more than 2 in any single outing. Since January 1st, he's averaging 5.4 attempts from deep and converting at an elite rate. Mitch Johnson emphasized perimeter shooting in practice. Wemby himself mentioned after the game how seriously the coaching staff takes outside accuracy. The results validate the approach. What makes this development absolutely lethal for opposing defenses is the counterpunch dynamic. Earlier this season, Wembanyama dominated by getting the ball in the paint, on the post, at the rim. Teams adjusted by collapsing defenders and crowding the interior. So now, he's punishing that adjustment by stepping back and raining threes over helpless closeouts. And there's one more tactical wrinkle being quietly installed, a pick-and-roll action with De'Aaron Fox that could make this offense completely unstoppable. More on that in a moment. If you were coaching against the Spurs, how would you defend Victor Wembanyama? Drop your strategy below. Championships aren't built on one player, and Monday proved the Spurs have genuine depth developing at every position. Stephon Castle, last year's Rookie of the Year winner, continues his sophomore surge with 18 points and 8 assists. He's now averaging 17 points and 7 assists this season, proving that 2024-25 wasn't a fluke. Castle attacked the rim with purpose, got to the free throw line, and orchestrated the offense with veteran-level poise. This is what elite development looks like. De'Aaron Fox, acquired in that blockbuster February 2025 trade, orchestrated brilliantly with 14 points and 8 assists, while adding 4 steals defensively. Fox is averaging 21 points and 5.9 assists this season, slightly below his career highs because he's sacrificing stats for team success. That's exactly what championship point guards do. Dylan Harper, the #2 overall pick from the 2025 draft, had his most efficient game in weeks, with 15 points on 6 of 7 shooting plus 5 assists. Harper 10.5 PPG, 3.5 APG as a rookie, shows flashes of the craftiness and maturity that made him such a coveted prospect. The 9-year-old lefty is figuring out the NBA game in real time, and moments like Monday accelerate that learning curve. And then there's the redemption story. Carter Bryant finally threw down a dunk, actually 2 dunks. After that viral incident against Cleveland, where he missed multiple dunks, becoming semi-infamous for the dunk yips, Bryant caught an alley-oop from Fox and slammed it home emphatically. Finished with a season-high 11 points. The 14th overall pick from Arizona showed exactly why scouts loved his athleticism and two-way potential. Which Spurs role player has impressed you most during this winning streak? Drop their name below. Let's talk about championship DNA, the ability to win while still identifying areas for growth. The Jazz hung around longer than expected early. Utah's ball movement was surgical. In the first half, 18 assists on 18 made field goals. They attacked the free throw line with purpose and found open shooters when San Antonio's rotations lagged. The Spurs looked slightly flat defensively in the opening quarter, probably mentally preparing for that Tuesday back-to-back in Houston. Mitch Johnson experimented with deeper rotations in the second quarter, sending in Lindy Waters III and Kelly Olynyk together. The unfamiliar combinations struggled momentarily. San Antonio was only up 4 at halftime. Here's where elite teams separate themselves. Championship-level response. They came out locked in after the break. The defensive intensity cranked up. The transition game took over. The threes kept falling. By the end of the third quarter, a 16-point lead. No panic. No drama, just execution. Without Markkanen, the Jazz lacked the firepower for a comeback. Keontae George battled valiantly with 30 points, but shot 7 of 20. That's what elite defense forces. The Spurs finished second in the NBA in offensive rating, 118.5, and sixth in defensive rating, 113.1 this season. They're learning to win with defensive intensity, not despite inconsistency. That's the Popovich legacy manifesting through Mitch Johnson's coaching. The margin for error shrinks in the playoffs. But learning to close games efficiently while rotating players and managing minutes, that's championship preparation happening in real time. What's the biggest area for improvement for this Spurs team? Perimeter defense, bench consistency, or clutch execution? Drop your analysis below. The smartest takes get featured next episode. Now comes the real statement game. The Spurs head to Houston on Tuesday for a back-to-back rivalry matchup that'll test everything: depth, conditioning, mental toughness, and championship mettle. It's part of AWS NBA Rivals Week, nationally televised on NBC and Peacock, with the entire basketball world watching. The Rockets are 25-15 with one of the league's best home records. Kevin Durant is averaging 26 points for Houston. The atmosphere will be hostile, and San Antonio will be playing on tired legs after 3 physical games in 5 days. But if they can steal this one, if they can extend the win streak to 4 while proving they can grind out tough road victories on short rest in a rivalry environment, that's when the national media starts taking the Spurs championship timeline seriously. And if those rumored Wemby Fox pick-and-roll actions we've been hearing about actually debut in Houston, specifically how Mitch Johnson might deploy them in late-game situations, this could be the showcase that unlocks a completely new offensive dimension. Prediction time. Spurs win or loss in Houston tomorrow. Drop your pick and final score below. If this breakdown gave you a new perspective on what we're witnessing in San Antonio, smash that like and share it with every Spurs fan who needs to understand where this team is heading. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss the Houston breakdown, especially if those Wemby Fox actions actually debut tomorrow night. The Spurs are 30-13, riding a 3-game win streak, and Wembanyama just reminded the entire league why fan voting put him in the All-Star starting lineup. This isn't a rebuild anymore. This is championship acceleration. Until next time, stay silver and black, stay smart, stay hungry. Peace.